Good morning, friends. Welcome to online classes from MGVC Arts, Commerce and Science College, Mudebihar. It's Department of Chemistry. Myself, UMARFAROOQ HALYAL. Today, I'm going to take the class for BSc 5th Sem. So, in that, paper number 2. So, according to your syllabus, paper 2 containing 3 parts, that is inorganic, organic and physical chemistry. So in the inorganic chemistry, they have 2 units, industrial chemistry part 1 and industrial chemistry part 2. Today I am going to discussing with the first unit of your inorganic chemistry, that is industrial chemistry 1. So this industrial chemistry 1 including 3 topics. There are alloys, abrasives and glass. As you know, I have already started this unit from the Zoom classes in previous week. So today we are going to discussing with alloys. So friends, in alloys we have to study their introduction, why alloys are using, what are the importance and uses of alloys, types of alloys, their properties and different applications of these alloys. Now we are going preparation of alloys. Why we are going to prepare these alloys? Alloys can be made by combining 2 or more metal elements while in a molten state or by bonding metal powders. This is the first bit. And these alloys made through physical processes, and these alloys will be determining by physical and chemical properties. Now, what is an alloy? Alloys are mixed of metal with other metal or non-metal in the same group that are prepared by making of the metals in their molten state through physical processes. That means, as I told you in our Zoom class, an alloy is nothing but it is a homogeneous mixture composed of 2 or more elements. Now, significance of alloys. To increase the hardness and strength of metal, and to prevent corrosion or rusting of the metals. And the next one, to improve the appearance of metal surface. It means to modify the color of the metals. The first one, to increase the hardness and strength of a metal. For example, the elements like manganese, chromium, vanadium, nickel, etc. These are having greater strength and hardness, and also they are very tough metals. And by applying paint or color to the alloys, they become corrosionless. Or some adding other metals. For example, in stainless steel, along with carbon and iron, we are adding a little amount of chromium. Here chromium we are adding only for stainless, means corrosion less property it is having. The next another significance, to lower the melting point. These alloys are lowers the melting point as compared to the original metals, and also these alloys are good conductivity of electricity as compared to their original metal. Okay, now we are moving the types of alloys. Alloys are mainly two types, ferrous and non-ferrous alloys. Ferrous alloys are those which contain iron as a major metal, while non-ferrous alloys are those which don't have any iron content. You see, alloys means that alloys is we classify into two types, ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous means iron based, and that is the most major product is iron content, and non-ferrous means no iron content will be there. Here are some examples regarding to ferrous metals. Ferrous metals means, or ferrous alloys means, it is a simply a metal or alloy that contains iron as the base or starting material or material. Again, when we are moving, ferrous alloys can be broadly classified into mainly two types, that is steels and cast iron. So that steel is having carbon less than 2.1%, and the cast iron, the percentage of carbon is greater than 2.1 to 6.67. So steels have carbon in the combined form. For example, austenite, cementite. Cast irons have carbon in the free form as graphite. These ferrous alloys are not only iron and carbon alloys, few other alloying elements are also added for special properties. So in the alloys, the first one, that is carbon steels. So again the carbon steel is further divided into low carbon steel, or another name mild steel, medium carbon steel and high carbon steel. In the mild steel, the content of carbon is 0.05% to 0.3%. The properties of this carbon steel is, this is also known as mild steel. It is a low cost material that is easy to shape while not as hard as higher carbon steels. Its surface hardness can be increased by carburizing. What are the uses of these carbon steels? So, the carbon steel materials we are using in bullets, nuts and bolts, chains, hinges, and nails and armor, etc. The second one, medium carbon steel. The content of carbon in the medium carbon steel is 0.3 to 0.7%. So property of this one, this medium carbon steel is ductile, strong with good wear properties. So this medium carbon steel we are using in heavy machinery such as axles, crankshafts, couplings and gears. So here heavy machinery means we are using in big industries. Like axles, we are our vehicle axles, our vehicles crankshafts, couplings and our vehicle gears. The next one, high carbon steel. It contains the carbon 0.7 to 1.4%. It is a very strong and holds shape memory well, making it ideal for springs and high strength wires. We are using this in springs and high strength wires. The next one, stainless steel. So this stainless steel is made up of iron, nickel and chromium. Here chromium we are using only for their corrosionless property. Uses: kitchen worktops, cutlery, pans, chains, wire, Swiss army knives, etc. The properties of stainless steel is strong, corrosion resistant, stain resistant, hard, protective coating using oxygen to rebuild the protective layer, excellent fatigue and impact resistance. In the alloy metals or ferrous alloys, again we are moving. The next one, high speed steel. So this high speed steel that contains 18% of tungsten, 4% of chromium, 1% of vanadium and carbon is only 0.5 to 0.8%. The uses of this one, the high speed steel is subset of tool steels. They are commonly used in tool bits and cutting tools. It is often used in power saw blades and drill bits. For example, milling tools, drill bits, turning tools and circular saw blades. These all are mostly used in our electrical and wood cutters, etc. The next one, properties: withstand higher temperatures without losing its hardness, and abrasion resistance, exposed to extremely rigorous heat or abrasion in service. The next one, low carbon steel. So this low carbon steel contains less than about 0.25% of carbon. This is unresponsive to heat treatment because of very less amount of martensite. This can be strengthened by cold work. And this low carbon steel microstructures consist of ferrite and perlite constituents. These alloys are relatively soft and weak. Addition, they are machinable, weldable and of all steels are the least expensive to produce. Applications of the low carbon steel: bridges, towers, support columns in high-rise building and pressure vessels. In all these constructing materials we are using low carbon steel. High carbon steel. These high carbon steel containing 0.6 to 2.1% of carbon. These are mainly tool steels. They have very good hardness and wear resistance. The tool and die steels are high carbon alloys usually containing chromium, vanadium, tungsten and molybdenum. These alloying metals combine with carbon to form very hard and wear resistance carbide compound. And these steels are utilized as cutting tools and dies for forming and shaping of the materials, as in nails, razors, hacksaw blades, springs and high strength wires. So now moving for non-ferrous alloys. Here non-ferrous alloys means this does not containing iron as their material, or this does not contain any iron content. Why we are using this non-ferrous alloys? Because these are lightweight, stiffness, strength to weight ratio, high temperature properties, oxidation resistance, corrosion resistance, biocompatibility, thermal and electrical conductivity is very good. Because of all these reasons we are using non-ferrous alloys. Some examples of non-ferrous alloys. Here copper alloys, brass, bronze, copper, beryllium, titanium alloys, aluminium alloys, manganese alloys, refractometry metals. In the copper alloys, zinc is substance of impurity, and these are using in costume, jewelry, coins, corrosion resistant. Bronze, tin, aluminium, silicon, nickel are the substance impurity. These are using in bushing and landing gear. And different types of non-ferrous alloys are again so much are there. So all that we will be discussing in next class. Thank you for watching. Subscribe it and pass it to your friends. Thank you.